he may be interested in giving Ghislaine Maxwell a pardon. And the family, Sky Roberts, her brother, talked about this with Hallie Jackson. Play this, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Sky, if Maxwell were to receive a pardon at some point, what would that mean for you?
It would unwind everything that my sister and all the survivors fought for. It would be a disgrace of justice. It would be picking abusers over survivors again.
And Mary, this family's so strong for having the conversation. And for them to sit there and have to think that the president of the United States is thinking about pardoning the woman who was instrumental in trafficking their sister, their daughter, their friend, is something that no family would ever want to go through. And yet here they are doing it.
Yeah, and again, for political purposes, let's be clear. We'd be talking about, at that point, elevating politics over, victims of real crimes. And I do think, we just constantly have to remember when we talk about things, and sometimes we talk about them lightly, and this whole scandal, has been elevated into weird conspiracy theories. But there was a real set of crimes here. And I don't think she was just instrumental. I mean, clearly she was. That's an appropriate adjective. But she was, critical, right? I mean, my understanding is she is the one who got these girls.
She was the recruiter.
She was the recruiter.
And we talked to a survivor on the weekend, last week, and she said that she talked to them and made them think basically it was an auntie, right? Like you bring them in and you show them love, and that's why they trusted Jeffrey.
I see this over and over and over again when I was investigating and prosecuting these kind of crimes. You develop a rapport and gain the trust of the teenagers, make them feel like you are the auntie in this case, sometimes the big brother, right? The caretaker. You love them more than their family loves them. Bring them in, and we've heard this before, then you start talking about sexual things, and pretty soon, it's the grooming. It's that grooming process, and many victims.
Here's what I don't understand. Why is Donald Trump even allowing for this conversation to occur about a pardon?
About a pardon.
I mean, he could just come out and say, not interested in it. Ain't going to happen. He says, not thinking about it. I could do it, or maybe I won't do it. I mean, given what we know about these crimes in particular and her role in this, there's no real doubt here. And her appeal to the Supreme Court of her conviction is purely on process grounds. She's not claiming that she was framed or that it was bad evidence or a lousy lawyer. She's saying that she should be covered by this bad deal that was struck under the Bush administration in 2007. And so why he allows this to float out there when he has the bully pulpit, he has the microphone, and he's watching this on TV. If you're watching, Donald, I'm kind of curious why you let this sort of
it makes
hang
me
out
wonder
there.
what he knows. What is he afraid that Ghislaine Maxwell knows?
What he knows and what he wants to contain. And that goes to, I think, a very important point, and that is Todd Blanche.
Yes.
Todd Blanche, he served as his defense lawyer in the New York hush money trial. He's now been tasked as the number 2 at DOJ. Did I see that somewhere? The number 2 at DOJ, right?
Yeah.
Going down to spend some time with Ghislaine Maxwell. Mary, what's your thoughts on that? How does that piece now fit in light of what we are hearing from the family, what you just heard from her brother, Ms. Giuffre's brother, about the injustice of a pardon?
Well, and, Andrew Weissman and I talked about this on the podcast this week. This is unheard of. As former federal prosecutors, to have the DAG, the Deputy Attorney General, the number 2, come into, your case. There are still prosecutors around. Now, granted, Maureen Comey has been dismissed. But others are still there at SDNY who built this case, investigated this case, right? Know the victims. They know what went on. They're not the ones interviewing Ghislaine Maxwell. Instead, you've got the DAG inserting himself into this and going down there. And as far as I'm aware, and I could be wrong, I don't think any of them were present during those interviews, right? So it just smacks of, it smacks of politics.
What do you think?
A different motive.
Just real quick, we're about to go, but just real quick on that point. What do you think his mission is in that moment, in that room? We don't have a readout, a transcript. We have no idea what was said. Doubt we ever will.
Apparently alone.
Apparently alone. What do you think he's saying to her?
I think there's two endgame or two things he's looking for. One, what would she say about Donald Trump? And two, what could she say about people that it would be politically advantageous to name?
And just to be very clear, Todd Blanche was on Ghislaine Maxwell's Lawyers podcast and called him a friend. So let's just.